Welcome back. We're here to do the update for the Pisces moon. It has been a while. We haven't been doing these in a while. I have been, however, covering these via the website. And we're going to make this pretty punchy. We're going to get to the point. And I did feel it was important for this particular moon to do an update. I did do one on Instagram, and that was really based on both Mercury retrograde, which will be happening 12 hours prior to the full moon in Pisces. Pisces also, it's a time of dreams and illusions and spirituality, but it can be very depressing. So for that exact reason, I thought it was probably best we actually did cover this moon, some of the tips that I feel can actually help you through it and how to best navigate it. But we are also going to be looking at your star signs. So I'll try and put them in a systematic order. I'll chuck the image of your star sign up so they can be time stamped. And that way, if you want to refer to it, you can come back to it. Now, full moons can have subjects to do with family coming up. We also can be going into our inner child. Mercury, as mentioned, 12 hours prior, will be moving retrograde, which will more than likely benefit us if we can keep our cool. I did say, especially because I do cover the twin flame path on the website and talk a lot to do with spirituality. I'm a psychic medium, so I'm quite, what would the word be? Used to working with energy. Okay, so number one is it can be quite psychic. It can be, we can be seeing things, we can be feeling things, we can be up in our heads quite a bit. It's very 12th house, it's very Jupiter. Mercury moving retrograde, which will dip in between both Libra and Virgo, especially because of the transits in Virgo. We're particularly going to have very, what would I say, very strict viewpoints on how we think things should be. There can be those wounds coming up, disillusionment, and we may want to move into using vices during this time, which can be one of those things that can be, you know, how do you deal with your stress? How do you unwind? How do you cope with those circumstances? Hi, guys. So let's get into the grid of it. We'll get into the thick, and then we will go into any tips I feel that are going to actually support you and help you, and then we'll get into your star signs, and I may pull some cards. So number one, it is starting around the 9th, and it is going to be at 0 degrees Pisces. Now, it's a little bit like the full card in Tarot, you know, especially because it's very Jupiter and Neptune. It's like we're trying to take a leap of faith. We're trying to move forward. Full moons can be endings, but therefore an ending as one door closes, another opens, and there can be this feeling almost subconsciously of nervousness. There can be this hyper excitement, and this doesn't have to be a negative thing, but if you don't have the tools to deal with it from a spiritual point of view, it can be a little bit frightening. You can feel quite anxious, and you can move to pacify. So you might want to eat more, drink more, go off your food, go on your food. And it's just a time really to kind of ride that wave. I'd really suggest trying not to project, you know, because we are, especially with Virgo and especially with Moon, it is to do with our conditioning. And it can be to do with our psychology. So, you know, for instance, if we've had a certain thing happen to us and we had a particular experience, there is a potential that we could project our direct experience onto other people, and it can look quite yucky. One way you can always kind of navigate what the things are coming through can always be looking at the media of what you see, you know, occurring. We can have spiritual gurus pass. We can have sports stars and things to that degree pass. It can be musicians as well, especially because it is very Jupiter in nature. And this can be for various reasons. This could be, for instance, you know, wellness. It could be the time. It might be through pacifiers. So we particularly may see those themes in the media, but it also can be a beautiful time to reach forgiveness, to make those dreams come true in your life, and to have the courage. It's very intuitive, but it's also, because it's Jupiter, you know, the old vibration of Jupiter was go, go, go. It was, let's get in there. Let's run and where angels fear to tread. You know, especially when we had the North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius, a lot of that had changed. And I think those themes are coming back up again due to the fact we do currently have Mars and Gemini. I think we really need to not rush. I think we need to sit with these things for a little bit. It's a little bit like I call it, to digest what has happened, to digest, to get the downloads. Great time to journal and write those creative ideas down. You can find sleeping patterns can be a bit funky as well. So if you find all of a sudden you can't sleep and then suddenly you're having all these bright ideas and you want to invest in all of them, journal. Give it a couple of days. Use the Virgoian energy to take a practical approach as well, especially because we do have Mars sitting in the house of Gemini for quite a while. And lots in that area is going to change, which I will do a video based on Mars retrograde in Gemini for you guys, what those placements are and what particularly you can find coming up. The one thing I haven't seen anyone discuss, which, I was really quite interested that nobody's really mentioned this, you can particularly feel quite tired with Mars retrograde. Mars at the moment is direct and it is going to be going retrograde end of next month. So really we've got between now and next month to do any heavy lifting. And the first half of the month, especially moving into this full moon, it's quite psychological. It's quite fatiguing. Some of you, like I said, with the Virgo placements, you're either going to be out cold, really sleeping very heavily, or you're simply not going to be able to sleep at all. So if that's happening, it could be that your mind is a little bit too busy. Best bet is to write those things down, express them during the day. Try to not take your troubles to bed and just say to yourself, look, that it's going to be waiting for me tomorrow. I can deal with that then. And, try and do things that are going to anchor you in and ground you. Okay, so the aspects that are coming up, I'm going to throw the chart on there. We're going to have to pound through this and we'll get into the tips and things I think that maybe can support us. Maybe we should really steer clear from. During this moon, we do have the moon making an opposition to Venus and Virgo. Oppositions are difficult. It's like, okay, especially where it comes to money, where it comes to our love life, Mercury retrograde in Libra, all those blasts from the past coming back, and it's happening 12 hours before. So on the 9th, we have moon making an opposition to Venus and Virgo. I'd say don't emotional eat, don't emotional buy. Emotions can be high. There can be difficulties maybe in those areas where it comes to love values. Definitely I'm seeing a lot in the collective at the moment to do with breakups, and that's more than likely because of the placements. But it's only ever going to happen if it really was going down a bad route anyway. The moon also is making a square to Mars in Gemini, so it can be difficulty. It might be difficulty with your energy, conflict in families, disputes happening in families, especially because Mars is in the house of Gemini. So, just be really careful. We've really got to ease ourselves into the next 4 days through this moon. It is going to affect, particularly generally we do see similar to an eclipse that, by the time you look at this 6 to 12 months, your position with these energies is going to be very different. Particularly, it will directly affect the next 3 weeks until we reach the new moon in Libra. On the 10th, we have it moving from the 9th. It was at 0 degrees. By the time we get to the 10th, it's at 17 degrees. We do have the moon still in opposition to the sun in Virgo. So your thoughts and how you see things. You might have difficulties with maybe believing in dreams. You might have difficulties with the things that you have to do and the tasks that are on your hand and, dealing with home environments, family environments. But it is going to ease up. That's why I said you need to give it a few days. The moon also will make a sextile to Uranus and Taurus, which is beneficial. But the one thing I would say, it can enhance us wanting to use pacifiers, and that's probably not the best time to use it. This is a huge opportunity to get into alignment and see how we're dealing with our stress. And I did call September Jenga, the game Jenga, and all those little pieces. And it's like, okay, what in my life do I directly need to remove because it's physically taking maybe too much time. It's not showing any fruit. It's outdated. I've outgrown it and I have to let it go. So, it's really a lot of mind, body, soul balance that we are trying to find. It's the high heart chakra of forgiveness for the transits through Virgo. So it's really good to increase your fluid, to listen to how you're feeling. Maybe not project. Definitely talking to a spiritual guru. Could be a coach, a counselor, somebody that you feel, especially if you feel you've reached that threshold. It's about, making that dream come true, but also finding that peaceful bliss, something that's really going to find that harmony for you. So the moon also is making a conjunction to Neptune. So you're going to have a lot of ideas. You're going to have, but they have to be cemented in an element of reality. And I mean, these days, what do we call reality? With the polarity of Neptune and the full moon in Pisces, we can be a little bit disillusioned where it comes to our home environment, where it comes to safety, wellness, being understood by tribe and family, feeling safe and nurtured, inner child wounds coming up, especially with the transits Venus in Virgo and the Sun. Now, we do have, like I mentioned, Mercury will be retrograding. It does dip back into Virgo around what date was it, the 23rd? But during Mercury retrograde, it's a good time to reflect. Marriages, contracts, partnerships, which I'm going to jump in shortly and I'll give you updates. Now, we can move into escapism. We might not want to accept something for what it really is, and that can be a very difficult thing. A lot of shadow work can come up for some, especially those of you more inclined in the spiritual community and you understand it more so. Yeah, we can have delusions and escapism, but it also can be very beautiful. You can get a lot of psychic downloads. It can be very psychic in nature, especially depending on the industry that you're working in. You can be beautifying, enhancing, transforming these things. Some of these ideas, because they are coming through during a Mercury retrograde, it's great to test the waters and troll things and see how they're going. But as Mars moves retrograde, some of us are actually really going to be working heavy in these areas, which I will mention in the Mars retrograde video. So stick around for that one if you're wanting to see it. Now, the do's during the moon would be definitely meditate, right? Drink fluid. Number one is it is crown chakra, so you can get quite dehydrated, you get quite thirsty. You may go on and off your food. Some of you also might be more inclined to eat spicy foods. Listen to your feelings. It's okay to be angry, mad, bad, sad. None of them are wrong. They're a direct experience through the 7 stages of healing. But also understand that other people have had their own personal grievances in life as well. And even if we have been hurt, harmed, disrespected in some shape or form, it's not so much rising above it. It's understanding that every person on the planet is going to go through this energy with the astrology. And that particularly because we do have the Sun in Virgo, we're really going to be taking on a very strict viewpoint of what's right and what's wrong. So the potential of conflict is definitely there. And, it's not necessarily going to solve anything. We definitely can't turn time back. It's ways that we can just be really open-minded and understand that how somebody else sees it is their very personal experience and how you see it is yours. So being open-minded is definitely quite key at the moment. And understanding dreams can come true. Just because we had a chain of very unfortunate events, it doesn't mean that we can't have happiness and we can't have a great future. For me, had a bit of a download this morning. It's coming to the anniversary of my father's passing, 3 years. And a lot of my friends have had a lot of passed over loved ones that have come up really over the last 3 months. It's been quite heavy, So I shared a song to them on Facebook, and it's really getting to that point where we understand, that emotion, that pain, that missing of that person doesn't mean that they're not within us. And it doesn't mean that tomorrow that new door that opens isn't going to bring something really wonderful and beautiful. And I think that, almost fair that everything that glistens was all in the past and there's no beauty, no beautiful thing that can come in the future, I think is to the detriment of our health. I think we do need to understand that there can be these streams and they are a potential and you do have that light within you and you can create it. Really great time to clear your home prior to the moon. you know, smudge stick it. I've definitely put some tips, and I will place some tips further, maybe some meditation videos. So it can be gin removals for your house. It may be energy clearing to clear the hurts out, opening the windows, even clearing your windows, washing your windows down, sweeping, having it clean, having bath rituals. Great time to meditate. I would be cautious near water at the moment. If you can, have a shower. You don't want to become foggy and disorientated, which is a possibility. So for the first, I would say, couple of days going in, couple of days going out, if you are going to the ocean, being really aware of your surroundings during that. So clear your home, listen to your intuition, a really great time to journal. So if you feel physically your instincts are telling you something and you need to make a pivotal decision, sometimes through that, it's almost like we second guess ourselves because we're like, what if it doesn't work? Well, what if it does work? Obviously, I'm not saying go to the edge of a bridge and jump off and say, hey, I wonder if I'll break my leg. Probably not the best idea. But logical things. It's like, okay, I have this hunch. Maybe I'll trial this. This is a good time to trial things. You can do aura upgrades, drinking extra fluid, expressing your frustration. I mean, there's healthy ways we can actually have outlets, and that can be going for a run. It can be breaking a plate. It can be, you know, expressing things, and maybe having a code word for people that are overstepping the boundary with us. And that can be in group environments as well. So the don'ts. The don't. I'm not your mother, but using pacifiers, if you are tired, if you are run down, if you had been unwell, right, and you are using pacifiers, or you had those things going on, during the transits in Pisces, psychic attacks are possible. Night terrors are possible. Energy vampires are possible. Have you ever stubbed your toe and you keep hitting it? You know, it's like a magnet. You just got to be careful near the moon for that. So we can have situations of attracting, especially because the light or the dark is always attracted to the light and vice versa. It's yin to the yang. You can attract verbal diarrhea coming from individuals. So you can have some people that at a psychological level maybe are not at the same wavelength. And because it's a full moon, you want to be super aware of your environment. So, you know, if you're going to a bar, don't take a drink from a stranger. If conflict, avoid it at all costs because they're going to come at you crazy. You just need to give it a few days. It's a little bit like the ocean with the ebbs and flows. It's heightening that, okay? Monthly cycles also can be around this time, quite heavy, so increase your fluid. So don't freak out, right? It's just a moment. It's going to pass. Conflict with family. Try not to fight. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep away. Take a moment. Take a day's grace. Be super aware of your environment, especially during Mercury retrograde. It's in a Venus sign. You just want to be aware of who you're with, you know, and, you know, looking after your valuables, looking after your home. Give it a few days. It's okay to express how you feel. Just don't, you know, blow up in somebody's face over it. You're just going to be losing your energy. Many of us are super tired, and it's just not going to benefit you. So tip-wise, I would say this can be really wonderful for manifestation. But the only thing I would say is wait a little bit till we move away from that moon. If you're in a kind of lower vibration and you wanted to move into manifestation, you're not going to manifest at the highest octane. That's what I will say. Because if we are in a bit of a low, you know, in a lull and feeling depressed, well, you're obviously not going to manifest at the highest octane. If you can let go, can you let go? It's hard. You know, it's like, no, we need to do this, you know, because the Virgo energy is making us really critique things. Okay, if I did this, if I did that, this is going to work better. And it can become excessive. I'm just going to tell you. So letting go is going to be more difficult than usual. But if you can let go and just go, do you know what? Gaia, God, source, universe, my destiny, it knows what's best for me. It knows better than me. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to do an Abraham Hicks. I'm going to even I'm going to put the oar down. I'm just going to trust where I'm taken just for a couple of days. But whatever is supposed to come to me is going to come to me, and whatever I need to let go of, I'm not going to control it. I'm going to let it go. That is going to be bloody hard for everyone, but it might be necessary. But you're still got to be aware of your surroundings. Yes, we can get karmic energies coming out of the wood. So what else can I say? Yes, be careful of habits. Habits, a lot of people are going to actually quit habits around this time. A lot of people are going to leave toxic situations. Can be a toxic job, can be a toxic partnership. You're probably going to be, even to those maybe that are less understanding and, compassionate. It's the do's and don'ts. Huh? I just read the comment. Okay, so it's a good time to get to a place where we are knowing that we can manifest. We can manifest, we can get things done. Be open-minded. I mean, Jupiter's large, but it's also asking you with the transits and Virgo and Mercury retrograde to assess those things. It can be the cost of things. It might be the value of things. It might be the value systems. You're going to want to catch up with people. You can have a lot of people from the past coming back. Weigh the scales. Does it work? Or a lot of cross wires. But the beautiful thing in this is through the emotion, you're having a transformation. It can be very psychic in nature. Very, very psychic in nature. I'll just read a few comments before we proceed forward. How are we all doing? It's just the do's, not a picture, right? I don't know, doll. I put the picture up. I've been putting it back and forward. I can put them up after if you want me to put them back up. Lord. That was easy, wasn't it, Kiggle? Anywho, let's move on to any questions. Feel free to ask questions if you have any concerns or questions. It's very psychic. Yes, you can have psychic attacks. People's psychology can come up and can be a little bit funky. Great dream states. You can have huge breakthroughs. And the crazy thing is psychically, the one thing I have been picking, the solution to a situation is right under our nose. And it also is relating to the area of love. I think there's Mercury retrograde in Libra. And then we've got the full moon in Pisces, which is the dream. It's spirituality. It can be spiritual marriages. And we've got Juno in Pisces. It's like you just can't make this up. So yes, especially for feminine energies, mothers, women, how you're energetically feeling this energy is going to be very different to how a masculine is feeling this energy. A masculine is going to be going through very much the 12th house, a lot of expectations, a lot of feeling into, they're really getting into harmony of the yin and yang, it's uncomfortable. Especially for individuals that weren't doing this for a while, they're closing a cycle. There's new energies coming through with the collective of the divine masculine, where they're feeling this energy and needing to express it. Forgiving. A lot of us are forgiving ourselves at the moment, and it's both sides, yin to the yang. So it's we wish something had happened. Spiritually coming to terms with it, but also trying to make some sort of sense. Now, the signs that are going to feel this the most intensely are obviously the air signs. So it's going to be Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Challenging for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. But, if you were to do your chart, you're going to have a placement there. So if it's rising especially, I have seen through the transit so far and with my circle of friends that I do readings for as well at a private level, they're having things happen really relating to the eclipses that are coming up, which I will cover later. We'll get straight into these. What was the other thing on it? Oh, well, it's the moon card in tarot. The mantra is I believe. Intuition, spirituality, dreams, and illusions. Try not to tell lies during this time because Mercury will be retrograde and Mars will be in Gemini. So cat's going to get out of the bag. You won't be able to hide anything. Ruling planet, Jupiter and Neptune. So, do we go down the list? Would you like me to pull a card? A card per My dreams have been crazy. I don't want to sleep. Oh, bless. Do a clearing of your crown chakra. Clear your home. You can use tourmaline and onyx. I probably wouldn't use amethyst at the moment. You know, really good time to wash your crystals, to charge your crystal, detox them a bit. Wash them after, and you know, have your spiritual baths. Drink tea that's chamomile and calming. You can, usually I would mention lavender and essential oils. Remember, if you do have allergies or you have epilepsy, for instance, always seek professional advice first, because they can actually cause seizures. So I'm very wary when it comes to you know, aromatics and oils. But, you know, if a person has that situation going on, they're more than likely aware of it. But it's more the purple energy, meditation, aura upgrades, and definitely tune out, high sweet, definitely tune out of anyone that's negative, especially if it's a problem. Give it a holiday for a minute. Just, you know, drink a lot of fluid, tune out of it so that you can just anchor your energy in. Nice time to earth. So taking your shoes off, connecting to earth, breathing exercises, and just, you know, sipping cool tea or hot tea. Breathe. Okay, so we're going to do Aries. Aries, good gosh, yours is 12th house. Yours is 12th house, dolls. You know, 12th house can be very psychic. It's definitely something that we would say can theoretically be the house of the undoing, but usually it's because we can't let go of the past. So there can be a lot of trauma, a lot of wounds. Aries and Chiron is retrograde at the moment. Particularly, you can be very busy as well. And sometimes we can actually get busy to avoid ourselves, but sometimes in life we point blank are busy. You guys can have a lot changing, you know, and it is really coming up to lots of things popping off with home, lots of things changing with, you know, you can be remembering a loved one that's passed over. They actually could be very close at the moment. You could be psychologically coming to terms with love and money and career and be thinking, gee, what am I doing? What's coming up? And I do feel for you spiritually, it's almost like you are definitely having a new beginning, because it's a little bit like going from the 12th to the 1st is that new beginning. For you particularly, you have a lot of activity happening in your chart. You've got things happening in your career sector, things happening in your money sector, things happening in your own body, you know, of how you deal with your stress and what you actually do to give yourself time out. Or are you giving to too many people? Many times we can get to a point that we're feeling abandoned. But point blank, I remember going through this. I so do. I hope I don't go through this again, because I've got Cancer rising. The 12th house can feel like an abandonment. It's like nobody's here, but I'm bloody here for everyone. I had to say to myself, where did you abandon yourself? And it was like, because I just never prioritized myself. I'll do that. I'll do this. And it's like finding the harmony, finding the forgiveness, loving yourself for who you are. But also being excited that your dreams literally at this point with this moon can be coming true. And it's about being open to that potential, getting on top of those creative ideas and having that new beginning. But also what can happen for you, Aries, on the lower octane is you move to pacifiers. And that's actually not going to help in the long run, because it's an avoidance of self. And it's like, you know, each time we move into that wound, and it doesn't have to be a wound, it can be a feeling or a bad self-talk, whatever it is happening. What happens is they're not going away. We're delaying, yes, but there's more going on top of it. So what we're wanting to do is go, wow, I'm just going to start plowing through this field. I'm going to start digging it out so that I can dig myself out of this, because this is not a healthy vibration for me to have. So we want those permanent changes. We want those things that are taking to our bliss high. And so for you, I feel that's what you're ready for. You may be second guessing yourself. You do have this in the bag. This is a likelihood that if you are an Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, you could actually ditch a habit. And this can happen quite radically. It could be, look, this is no good for me anymore. I'm not doing it again. And that can be any habit, self-talk, eating, belief systems, expectations, alcohol, you name it. Yeah, you're healing off a broken heart, but you're also assessing what you do and don't love anymore. You're like, am I loving myself? Do I love this situation? Am I doing something because my mother, brother, father, sister, love interest wants me to? What do I love? Am I going to my bliss? So there can be a blast from the past also at this time coming back for you. Taurus. Probably should put the thing up on the screen. And you'll have to tell me if you can hear me talking. Taurus. Is anybody out there? So Taurus, for you, what am I seeing coming through with you? Okay, this is your social responsibility. How many Taurians in the house? Any Taurians in the house? Sun, moon, rising. Now, what you can be finding is you could be having issues with them. You could be having issues with a superior, okay? So if there is a superior that is irritating the crap out of you, I understand. Keep it cool. You actually could land yourself a dream job. You could move. This could be changes in your wealth. Again, you could be taking on a role that entails more responsibility. Some of you also are wanting to join a gym. Okay, you're like, I want my sexy back. I want my sexy back. We'll do Virgo. Oh, no. So you're wanting your sexy back. You're wanting life back. Now, 11th house. Be careful around friends. Who are you mixing with? Are there habits that you need to ditch? Is it a social crowd that you mix with because, you know, you grew up with them, or it's what you do on a Friday night? Just be careful around your social crowd at the moment, especially with this full moon in Pisces. There can be changes that are happening. There can be changes, you know, around this. Are you babysitting these individuals? It's funny, we've got the card that says law is not justice. So particularly for you, it could be that, you know, you're taking on maybe a more social kind of responsible role, but just be, you know, whatever you're wanting to move towards. It could be that you're wanting to go to a higher tier level in employment. Read all the fine print. Mercury is retrograde. It doesn't mean don't do anything. We can't put our lives on hold. We need to be realistic. We've only got 2 months left before Mars goes retrograde, and we do need to get our ducks in a row. But just make sure you know what you're getting into. It might not quite look what it looks like at the opposite side of it. If you are moving into health kicks, because Mercury will be retrograde, Mars is in the house of Gemini. Be careful of strains. Be careful of dehydration. You know, take care of yourself. Move into any exercise routines this month very gently. In the area of love also, your role could be changing in the connection. It could be that you have to go back to work. It might be that there's more commitments coming into the situation. It could be a circumstance happening on the home front around money and wealth, and, you know, who's taking the trash out. So I particularly would say in a social setting, be careful. There could be a shake-up with your friendship group. You've got to be careful with superiors. But for some of you, some things just aren't fair, you know. It's but don't judge the situation. If there's a situation that you see and maybe a friend's being harmed done by, there's 2 sides to every story. Just stay clear of it. Anyone going through anything like this? Love to hear your feedback. And where are you tuning in from around the world? So you could be signing a contract. Some of you also could be refinancing and getting a loan. I can't give you financial advice, but there could be something to do with that where you are refinancing. But definitely wealth, social expectations are coming up. I think some of you also could be very busy this month. So keep your totes about you. I think it's going to be pretty busy. Okay, moving on to the next. Gemini. Can I find Gemini? I'm trying to do them in the correct order. I can't find Gemini now. Giggle, do you want to come and B2IC for me? I've written there it is. Bloody shit. Okay, Gemini, for you. This is a big 6 to 8 months for you, dolls. like you didn't have a gutful of the last transit. We had the North Node in there for about 18 months. So for you, there's been a lot going on. Now we're back there, okay? Mars moved into Gemini last month. It's going to be retrograding at the end of October. During that time, moving into 2023, you particularly in your own energy are going to be really reworking what your purpose is. First house is really unique. First house is personal and it can change everything. I mean, Libra's going through that at the moment, which we'll get into them shortly. So for you, during this full moon in Pisces, it actually links to your career sector, your purpose. And it doesn't have to be work. It could be what am I doing in my life? Where am I living? I mean, because moon relates to home and family. You could be like, I am trying to be everything for everyone. You could be having issues with your kids. You could be having issues at work. You might be thinking about doing a home-based business and everything's coming at you. But you, in your very own personal life of, why is everyone coming at me and telling me what I need to be, what I need to do? You particularly could be getting pretty pissed off right now. So try and keep cool. Try and also, what's your dream life? What would it look like? What would it entail? Pardon me. You particularly could be extremely psychic at the moment. It could be that you are looking at spiritual ways you can deal with things. It could be that you're very receptive to the energy of the people around you. You could have the most amazing workplace, but you also could have a situation where you have put some of your hopes and dreams on hold and they're kind of saying it's time to get that done now. You can't teach everyone, dolls, okay? Especially this card's in reverse. How teachable are you? Finding the lesson, discover the purpose in a situation, trust that you are learning. It may be something you already know, right? Because it's in reverse. I think you are using skills that you already know, but you're tweaking it and you're trying to change a situation. But there could be people around you and you just feel you're trying to explain something to them and they're not getting it. It's going to happen. Let them learn their lesson and just let it go, especially where it comes to family, love, contracts, but you have a new beginning. You need to choose for you. You need to pick for you. If you love your career, you could be going up a tier level. Some of you could be deciding, hey, am I in the right career industry? Do I need to move? Am I on mission? Am I on purpose? And I also feel a lot of your image at the moment is going to be changing over the next 8 months. So tell me how it goes for you. Cancer. Let's find Cancer. Cancer. How many Cancerians do we have in the house? Cancer, you guys have your moon anyway, okay? This can be a situation happening with a sibling. Lot to do with family this month, dolls. You've got a lot going on with family. You got crap happening at home. You've got things coming up with your kids. For those of you that have kids, you're regressing back to your childhood, but you're also having this rebirth. I mean, you guys are really great for intuitive energy. You're really great for feeling that frequency and knowing, you would give your shirt off a person's back. Some of that's changed, but at the same time for you in your destiny, you could be looking at family. You could be looking at fairness within family. What was right. Some of you could be traveling. Some of you do have a loved one that you may hear from around this time at afar. This also can be a loved one that had passed over. But definitely I do see something to do with the holidays. Some of you are really needing a holiday. Some of you, ending a cycle. Some of you are actually tying up a physical contract. This could have been a dispute with family. And this could be an opportunity for some of you to make amends with family members, especially if there were squabbles and things to that degree. Others of you, I think you're directly looking at your future in a very Jupiterian kind of way. You're like, right, where am I going? Where in the long term am I going? And what am I willing to fight for? What am I making happen? You're actually fed up of people taking from you. But at the same time, I do see from a spiritual point of view, there might be a contract or something that you're having to look at where it does come to money. This also can be money for children because it is home. You know, the moon is home. Yes, there could have been habits also that did come up that you guys you know, we're leaving behind and coming to terms with, especially in the direct environment of how you grew up and what those things were. Some of you, I just do see the bigger picture. You're rising from the ashes. It's like you're not the old person, especially because Mars is going to be transiting over your 12th house for a while. You're going to have a lot of healing. You're going to have a lot of courage. You're not going to take crap no more. You're the phoenix rising. You're having this rebirth, but you're opening your horizons. Some doors could actually open for you. This could be advancement in career and love, and it could also be really a spiritual time. You know, ninth house is maybe getting married, maybe making a proposal, somebody proposing to you, but there particularly could be something around you actually rising from the ashes and showing everyone who you really are. Leo, are you ready, Leo? Are you ready, Leo? Leo, you guys, it's going to get better, sweets. Okay? I know it's been sucky. You're the stars of the show. Okay, Leo, you got 8th house. 8th house is, you could be tying a debt up. You could be investigating your charismatic sexuality. 8th house is death, sex, legacies, inheritances. This also can be your stability. You know, what the give and take is, whether it's with family, whether it's in your finances, what you actually can directly depend on. If somebody owes you money also, this is the 8th house placement. So it could be a family member. I also feel in the bigger picture of things, this can be an anniversary for some of you that you're reaching. They're very interesting. Okay, how many of you? Any Leos in the house? Help from above. Your guides are helping you, but you're wanting to create some sense of new stability in your life. You're tired of having just enough. You're tired of just getting to that point. You have this new chapter. This can also be for those of you around your children, around your mother and father. There is some direct change that is going to make your dreams come true. Sometimes it is actually us that make those dreams come true. Sometimes it is a circumstance. You know, your guides are helping you through this. You need to think bigger. That's what I'm hearing. You need to think bigger. You need to be aware. You can have really positive new beginnings. But I do think you're critically looking at your resources at the moment, and you're wanting to be more protective of yourself. You're having this ideal of what you think the future can be, your home, your love life. You know, this is even within a committed relationship. This can be an opportunity coming in with an individual, and even a blast from the past, where you could commit even further, but it's going to need to be the give and take. Some of you might be healing from that. Some of you might have been healing over a circumstance around a love interest and money. They may have had some large changes that happened in their life. It might have been through their mother and father maybe being unwell, through changes in their career happening. So this can relate to other people's money. This could be your boss's income that they give you. It could be the wealth that you get from a business you're running, the money that you are getting from a partnership, or the commitment, the give and take. It can be shared care arrangements and things to that degree. So these are all coming under the microscope, and it can be a very emotional time. But you also might need to be careful of, you know, your beliefs, but also do think bigger. But just keep it real. Give it a couple of days either side. Digest what you got. But you are going to have your guides helping you. So if something happens really quickly, which is possible with this moon, stay open. Stay open for a couple of days and see how it actually plays out for you. Virgo. Any Virgos in the house? Where's Virgo on my chart? Mirror, mirror. Hey, beautiful Virgos, big month for you. all the way through till October. Big changes. You at a personal level, you got the Sun and Virgo, we've got Venus and Virgo. You're actually in the first half of the month, especially moving into this full moon, you're really trying to work out what's going to be best for you. It's quite strange. For a long time there, it was, okay, how does that other person feel? Do they love me? Do they like me? Am I doing a good enough job? I really don't see you guys looking at it this way. Okay, I actually see you guys going, how do I feel about that? This Pisces moon is going to bring big question marks up around your love life. And that doesn't mean to say you're going to break up. Okay, single couple connected. This can be changing in your career sector, your money, your values, your family. Your home could go up in price. You could be changing a loan. You could be changing a relationship status. I also see this directly affecting your image. It does feel as though you could be suddenly wanting to change the hair or the makeup. But it really can be changing quite a bit in your life. I feel initially you're not going to say anything, but you could be outgrowing certain things. You could be outgrowing lifestyle habits, diets, pastimes. You could have less tolerance for certain things. But, you've moved through the 7 stages of healing. You're open to connections now. And so those floodgates are open, even though it is a full moon. Something in your love life, you got the Fool card in reverse. You're not going in where angels fair to tread. When we get to know ourselves, the new version of ourselves, and that rebirth effectively, you actually do know what you do and don't like. You don't want to, some of you could be fantasizing more so at this point in time, but some of you could be feeling, hey, am I being delusional with this thing? So you're going to have 2 things going on. Try to not go crazy during this time. This can cause paranoia. Sit with it for a couple of days. Don't make no rash decisions. I'm just saying, okay? Don't freak out. If you need support, hi, Dava. If you need support, come through to us, right? But for you, Virgo, lots is changing for you. Especially the pressure. And I think, like I said, September's Jenga. If you feel there's too much crap on your plate, all of us, reduce it. Less is more, because if you have to carry that, if you can hardly carry that wheelbarrow now, do you think you'll be able to carry that wheelbarrow with Mars retrograde? Dump the trash. Okay, we're taking it out. Dump the trash. Who we got next? Feel free to chuck a statement in, a question. I am okay with that. Okay. Libra. Deep breath, Libra. Libra. It was so funny. I'm going to show you my face. This is hilarious. I looked up. I didn't even know which one I was doing that. Because Libra. God. Ladies and gentlemen, are you having fun? Okay, I laughed. I actually sent this to Giggle Gilman this morning. I mentioned to her that Kim Kardashian has already been in the media. And look, there's going to be lots of gossip, lots of haters, lots of, I can't believe you did that. And especially for poor Libras, right? Because we have Mercury moving into retrograde on the 9th, from the 9th, 12 hours prior to the moon moving into the full moon. What a double whammy, right? Full moon in Pisces, let's go Mercury retrograde. Are you sure you know what you want? What did you say? Did you say you were coming live? Right. So Mercury, she was on a magazine and she has her buttocks hanging out. Oh, man, I've seen them hundreds of times. But anywho, okay, you guys are feeling you need to let a dream go. You got the star card in reverse. So funny, my name actually means star. My mum hates me saying that, but it's true. You called me it. You can't blame me, mother. We have the star in reverse. We're letting something go that is no longer serving us. And it might have been at a point. I feel it's more, you're like, is everything going to go wrong? No, remember, this is a full moon, meaning an ending. So I'm down for that. I'm down for crappy stars not coming to fruition. That can, as far as I'm concerned, that can go to the past. I mean, any goers with me? Bye. We make our luck, right? we make our luck in a sense. You're having this happening in your wellness zone. So, the Pisces moon has been teaching all of us to do with health, diet, nutrition, structure, routine. It's the house of the undoing. What habits? Were we doing too much? Yeah, we can build the ship. It's okay. And I know I've changed some things. I was doing way too much. I got Ross River this year. I'm Libra. I got Cancer and Scorpio and crap in my chart. So for a lot of Libras, especially because it's Mercury, it might be something to do with your teeth. It could be something to do with your family and your home. There's an ending, a crappy situation going to the past and a new one coming through. You also can have during this month, because we are having a lot of psychic energy coming through. I'm totally on the bypass. Yeah, it's like, look, sometimes these things, they're like diamonds, right? If you're having, any of you are having a hard time in life, it helps. It's like the pressure creates the diamond. And, all eyes are going to be on your stars because kind of Mercury's retrograde in your sign. So we're going to have haters relating to love. We're going to have judgment relating to relationships and what people should do with their money and what they should be doing with their beauty. And Mars is in Gemini. So trolls, we're going to have a lot of trolls on social media, a lot of opinions, and we're going to be such as well. We've got to be careful, all of us collectively. So for you, you can be having, and I really do predict this for you, Libra, between now and next year, especially because of the transits, your body's going to look totally different, okay? So whatever you're going through right now in your wellness, I know for me the last week, especially with Virgo transiting the 12th house for Libra, you're probably not sleeping, right? And you've probably gone off your food. If you've gone off your food, it's your 6th house. It was already the Pisces moon. So the house of the undoing also can come about through our own choices. It's like, okay, I'm consciously making choices. Yes, I'm dreaming the dream, but I'm also being realistic. So you're like, yes, I do believe in dreams and I will always believe in dreams, but I'm also going to make that dream come true. For some of you, you also might have felt a bit funky about your body image. This can be being repaired, but you're also going to be the star of the show. So, it's almost there. You could be completing a task. Some of you, would this be the best time to get plastic surgery? Probably not. But if you have to do something, you have to do something. Do you know what I mean? On the moon, if you can miss that, that'd be best. But other than that, you can have a lot to do with your wellness, your routine. You're wanting more time. You're wanting more time for love. You're wanting more time for connections and friendships and barbecues and social settings. And that really hasn't been so over the last 3-4 years. Anyone agree? Barbecue, what barbecue? Yeah, I'll try and tee it into my calendar. It's okay. I have been there. No more. Nope. What's that girl's? What's that singer's name? My name is no. The number's no. New beginnings, Libra. Okay. You are going to have a new beginning. New beginning in body, new beginning in routine, health kicks, changes, trusting instincts with things, getting, whatever this is, it's getting you ready to go and live your dream. All right. Wait till you see the Mars retrograde one. Okay, Scorpio. Problem was I uploaded these images and didn't name all of them, so I'm having to read the banner. Scorpio, big 5th house. Okay, changes happening with romance, changes happening with kids. Yes, you can be having changes with your inner child, your psychology, and healing from the past. This can be a real great time for you to reconnect with family. This can be a real good time to tie up anything to do. And yes, it could be inheritances, assets. And this could be for a lot of us. If there's old paperwork that we're actually addressing relating to the past so that we can move forward, especially with the transits with Uranus and Taurus. And because it's Pisces, which is 12th house relating to home. So, yeah, there could be things that we're tying up around that area. But I do feel for you, you've got to be careful. You might fall pregnant. You could have a surprise baby coming. Some of you could be looking at IVF or fertility. But this also can be a very, very brand new beginning in a creative project. You also might be kicking food groups that you feel are no longer working for you. The thing I have noticed going from the 5th house, more than likely you'll have transits next year in your 6th house. You need to be organized. You need to be careful with your bones moving into the new year. You can be accident prone. A lot of Libras with bones and teeth really through the 6th house this year have had those things going on. So for you, you can have a brand new romance coming through. This could be, yes, a blast from the past. This can be a reconnection. This can be pregnancies, a brand new creative venture, but also a changing circumstance surrounding those situations right now too. So a lot of healing, but really healing those things and trying not to use pacifiers and emotions, okay? So that's for you, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Any Scorpios in the house? I mean, my North Node Scorpio, my Venus Scorpio. Sagittarius, big changes in your home environment. This is a double whammy, dolls. You know, you're wanting some freedom. You're trying to be Arthur, Martha, and May. You're trying to get things done. You do feel pulled in various directions. Many of you also during this time might have had some changes happening in your career sector, and now you've got it bouncing off in your home sector. So you personally may be feeling as though some of you could have to move. Some of you might have a grievance that comes up around the full moon. Some of you also could have a party in a home. It could be a get-together, but there is an ending that is coming up. Yes, from a spiritual point of view, some of you also could be reflecting upon a loved one that passed over and coming to terms with it, you know, maybe becoming the woman or the man of the house and having those emotions that you have to look at. Do you know what we didn't do? Nobody told me. Was I pulling the cards each time? I did. Did I pull one for Scorpio? Did I pull one for Cancer? Help me, Rhonda. Did I? I don't know. We'll finish Sag. Okay, so home for Sag. Look, this can even be a home-based business. You might start a home-based business. You could end a contract with the home. You might be getting a new loan to actually pay it off. And so something around home and family is changing. A situation also around mother can change. This can be an ending. Try to not lose your cool, right? You didn't pull cards. I'm bloody shit. Lord, we'll have to backtrack. See, this is the thing. Okay, Sag. You don't know what to focus on. You got way too much on your plate. This card's in reverse. Okay, for you, I'm noticing the sun. All right. This is for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, let's look at your chart because you've got some crap going on with the Virgo transits. Obviously, look, I would say headaches, feeling rushed, feeling stressed. I would say also with Virgo, it does relate to your career, so it makes sense. You've got a lot on your plate, right? And you're like, how can I be in 21 places at once? Breathe. Be careful with your social environments at home, okay? Be careful with how you unwind at home. If there's stress going on at home and there's stress going on at work, where are you resting? Be careful not to project to people. It's going to, sun can be egoic. It's like, I have this and that to do. It's like, okay, it's not my fault. Just breathe. You need to Jenga it, right? How can I restructure my routine? How can I deal with all these things? Do I need to ask for help? Is there something I need to say to somebody? And try not to presume everyone knows, because during this transit, not everyone's going to know. And just express, I need help. I have too much on my plate. Here is my code word. There is the door. Whatever it be for you to get you through this transit. Try and take some grounding time. If it means sitting in a park before you have to go home, shouldn't be that way. But if you have to, breathe. Okay? I will have to retreat back and do Scorpio. We missed Scorpio, didn't we? Before I go any further, I'm going to do one for Scorpio. Probably shouldn't do it here, but I will. Some of you are dealing with a twin flame situation. Okay, you're trying to find the light in the situation. Yes, but there's, look, not everyone can be you, Scorpio, okay? You might have to multitask. Look, hey, I'll just be honest. There's something to do with children coming up. Some of you, I'm noticing the seahorse because the seahorse actually was a solo parent. Might have been that you were a solo parent and, you know, it might have been that a situation comes up because I'm noticing the seahorse on her third eye. She's like, you want kids? I don't know. You might want kids. But there's the seahorse, right? There's a new chapter of creativity coming through for you. Okay, now, Cancer, you guys had ninth house, as I mentioned. You guys have come to life. Now, yeah, it does make sense. You want this fun. You want this spunk. You want adventure. You want to move in a brand new direction. You're tired of being stagnant. Okay? You can see how far you've come. You literally can see through this moon. The options are endless, right? We'll have to be practical. Let's not get too adventurous. Oh, I'm going to jump on Mount Everest during a Mercury retrograde. Not wise, man. But these things can come to life. These hopes for you, Cancer, can come to life. We're just going to stay on the screen because then I get sidetracked. I'll get better at this. I'm being the 2IC and the medium and the astrologer all at once, so we're just doing our best here. So we did Sagittarius. We've done Leo. We did do Leo, didn't we? Okay, so we've got Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So Capricorn, for you, be careful driving, right? You can have a change in car, change in technology. You could have a change in a routine that you're having. This can also be a change in diet. This might be a necessary change. This could be kicking a bad habit, but it also could be a conversation that brings your dreams come true, right? It's an old thing that needs addressing, that needs to come to a head. But this also can entail some paperwork. So if there's some paperwork that you need to address, get on it. This also can be a positive time for it. Make sure you read the fine print. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is. Be careful of hacking at the moment. Be careful of offers that are coming in, but just be aware. I do see you actually changing the way you're dealing with your stress. And even your social time. This could even be quitting smoking or something to that degree. You do have the power to make these changes. Some of you, this opportunity also is going to come to you through word of mouth. This could be an offer. But don't underestimate yourself. That's what I've got. It sort of feels as though something that you're thinking you're wanting to happen, you're kind of scared that it's not, but it feels like it's going to. It feels through your own good blessings and goodwill. It's going to go your way. You did, Sally. You'll probably catch me live a bit more. I'm changing the structure. The booking page is open. Just FYI. Okay, something I think you need to, okay, some of you I'm hearing, and I'm just going to say this. This is a very separate message to the full moon, but it relates, obviously. So for you guys in your third house, I'm getting it's this. I pulled another card for you, and it's to do with you need to write something. This could be a book. This could be you communicating with somebody. But I feel you need to speak to somebody. There could be somebody, an idea, a creative idea that's coming through. Great time to journal. Great time to journal your emotions. Could be talking to somebody. If your throat chakra is going, look after it. Yeah, because I feel there's writer's block. Like it's like throat chakra. You need to listen before you do. Okay, so it's like think first, do after. There's something you're going to turn a road. This could be suddenly going off in a new direction. It's like, oh, suddenly I'm going to blog something different. Something in it is changing. All right, whatever it is changing, Be open to the transformation. We all do change. We continue changing. So for me, for instance, I was doing star signs with chakra, business astrology, and everything else on the website. I was like, I'm over here. I'm coming back to YouTube. Okay. I'm creating the content for 2023, 24 now. I'm putting that on hold and I'm redirecting energy into 9th house matters of higher education content for YouTube, blogging. It's still blogging, it's journalism, and I'm getting the other stuff right. So change, right? You guys have change. Something's changing. Aquarius, big changes. This is hard for you guys as well, dolls. There's lots of changes. Now, this can be, you can feel, and I heard a tarot reading the other day. I was like, blessed. This is so true. You guys have had so much crap going on in your home zone. This could have been homelessness. This might have been feeling there were so many changes. How are you going to do a loan? You might have had to move house so many times. For you during this moon, it does link to your 2nd house placement, which is confidence, self-esteem. It can be changes in diets. Might have been emotional eating prior and you're like trying to get grounded through all this crap you're going through. I'm going to check that chart. I have said this so many times. I don't know why I keep picking pregnancy for Aquarius. Probably because you got 8th house placement. Yeah, new birth. I was like, huh? Maybe I'll see how I go. New birth, guarded vigilante. So there is for you. I do feel there's healing. I'm noticing the green coming through, and green through the heart chakra. And for you, because it's your 2nd house, you might be having a big debt come up and you're having to pay it, and then you're transitioning over. And so I feel you're kind of trying to dig yourself out of a circumstance. You're trying to get yourself going in a different direction. This can be your professional resources. It might have been maybe disputes with bosses or, your allies and the people you thought you could depend on weren't there, and then you were on your own. But there is changes, and this actually can be for a lot of you a direct pay rise coming through. Now, it doesn't have to hit right at the full moon. This is going to be effective of pretty much, you probably feel the energy for the whole month, to be perfectly honest, even though we are moving to the new moon in Libra. The work that you do during that Mercury retrograde, if it's a new job that you're trying to go for, if it's trying to get money so that maybe you can buy a house, for instance, whatever that be, or refinancing, you do have the 2nd house coming up. So it can be quite active around this time. Be careful of emotional eating. Be careful of using pacifiers to decompress and stress. Try to not project to people during this moon. Try and be really, it's almost like there's people that are on your side, because it's funny, it's guarded vigilante. It's like, there's people that are on your side. You just need to understand they do love you and that they do want to be there for you, right? So home is where the heart is. There's changes happening in home. Money-related situation or conflict maybe in a partnership can come up. Who's giving more than the other? So just be wary of that. But overall, you do have changes happening there. And Pisces, this is your moon. How do you feel about it? I'm not. Look, there's a new moon coming for me, but I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like, happy birthdays to Libras. And whoever else is having a birthday, a happy birthday. Pisces, yours is 1st house. Now, 1st house, this is what it comes down to. Initially, one could say it is your image. It is the way you show up in the world. It is how society sees you. It's how you see yourself. It's your fame, for instance. It's where you stand. How's that going for Kimmy? Okay. Anywho, being that it's a full moon, something in your life is changing. Your image could change. What you physically do for a living could change. Who you are with could change because you're changing. Something in you is dying and something in you is being reborn. You are having a new chapter. You may feel this. There could be for you guys a lot of drama happening around home at the moment. And that doesn't mean to say it's nasty. It could just be way too much going on. Are you working too hard? Do you need to work harder? Are you having too much energy at home and not at work, or vice versa? But you feel very busy. Something's got to give. Some of you are reassessing your dreams. Some of you are wanting to be able to, be in love with life again and maybe feel sexy, or feel that whoever that romantic interest is deeply engrossed in you. But it's a personal transit, because it's happening to you. But it's showing you, where is your zest for life? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Are you using pacifiers to deal with your stress? Are there things that are unresolved in the shadow that you need to deal with that are preventing you from moving forward? Is it your belief within yourself? We're going to pull a card for you, and I'll pull a tarot card because it is your moon. So it can be really emotional. Big changes happening, like I said, in family for you. Okay. Yeah, and definitely because Mars is going to be transiting through your 4th house, you're going to be careful around where you're living, Are you having issues with a neighbour? Is it your neighbourhood? Is it your routine? Is it with your kids? Are you starting a home-based business? Are you deciding you're going to work from home? Some of you, I do feel something's changing in your home. Most definitely. You got to keep your... Yep. Something in an intimate connection is changing. Some of you could be in your workplace. Maybe the residents of the business is moving. And this could be your business, the company you work in. There's lots of changes. But you are saying to yourself, where to from here? Some of you could decide that you don't want to work there anymore. Some of you also could get a pay rise. You're getting tired. Okay, the power of attraction. You attract what you believe. But if you're not quite sure what you want to do at this point in time, you can be very strict with yourself and say, this is as good as it gets. I do think something's changing. And I think, this can even be your image. And I did say for Pisces, especially because we do have Jupiter in Pisces, which we'll move back there shortly. Until it shifts, right? It's going to shift back into Pisces. It can actually cause expansion. So for you personally, during its retrograde, it was an opportunity to shed that, right? As it goes forward again, there's a potential, but if you make the adjustments now, you'll be able to handle it. Wear loose clothing, for instance. That's going to counteract it, where you pour it into your creative endeavors over it occurring to you. Which, again, I had 6th house, same thing. And I had expansion. Look at me now. Look, mummy, I'm a big girl. So how have we been? I hope that covers all. I hope this helped. It's going to be stressful. Clear your houses, right? Do the home clearing. Do the meditation. Use obstinine and tumbaline and anything that's going to protect you psychically. Put your salt at your door. Clean your windows. Clean your mirrors. Do some breathing exercises, walk in the garden, journal, keep away from drama, give it a couple of days. One flew over the cuckoo's nest is going to be out there. Try not to project, okay? Because everyone has had their own personal experience and people can take things extremely personal. There's going to be a lot of fights. Yes, like I said, we could have spiritual gurus passing. Mercury is not going to... Mercury is going to help it, but it's not. It's making sense. We have to regress. We've got to get our ducks in a row. And then from there, we can go. Gee, we've been on here for a while, haven't we? And it was so funny. The last few times I've looked at Libra, I literally, in channeling Libra's energy, have been seeing the 1-500. And I'm like, you guys are going to go through a massive change. I don't like the 5s. I don't care what anyone says. That's my personal experience. And it just was a whole life ripped to pieces upside down. Oh, that looks better, doesn't it? What would you like to know, Sally? Did you want a super chat, doll? And then we'll jump into the meditation and we shall move. Anywho, going once, going twice, and they're going to hit the road. But yeah, for basic questions, I'll answer them for you. If it's a personal question, I'm happy to answer it. But we do have the booking page open now, so feel free. Otherwise, we've got super chats on Fridays. Another massive change. Yeah. Hey, look, change is as good as a holiday. And you know, Giggle, you and I want one. If you can make it work. What time is it where you are when I'm live in the mornings? Or on the Fridays? I'm live tomorrow at 8 a.m. Western Australian time, doll. What's our time difference between you and me? Okay. Hit you with it. What would you like to know, Giggle? It's 1:15. Yeah, so here it's 11 o'clock or 10 past 11 in the morning. So that's the time difference there. During Mercury retrograde, any channel you go to, make sure you re-click the bell, double check it. It's Mercury retrograde. You're going to get unsubscribed. Nice card, Giggle. You've already got that happening. There's dramas, right? There's dramas. There's conflict. See, I told you, Libra, 5, right there. Okay, with the love interest. With the love interest, you're the love interest, you fool. There you go. Okay, what your counterpart is doing is pretty simple. I'll just say that. You got the 5 of Wands. You're already dealing with that currently. And again, moon relates to home. It's your health. It's your wellness. You got a lot of things going on. You got a lot going on. The person of interest that you are in love with, they are thinking on you. To them, they are with you, even though you know, and I know that's weird. But anyway, we're just accepting it because remember, Virgo is judge. It's going to be judging the situation. Mercury is like, let's be fair and honest. And Pisces is like, am I delusional? But I want the dream, right? So I would say this individual at the moment does have a lot of crap going on. You particularly are like, come correct. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm starting to look at the Queen of Swords very differently these days. The Queen of Swords to me is looking like she is like, I will mess you up. You understand? I mean, she's looking like, would you want to approach that? That's not saying it's not justified. That's to say, you took me there, okay? That's true. It is true. But many people took us there. This person just keeps poking the fly screen. Okay. Full moon in Pisces. Don't poke the fly screen. Nobody. We're going to move into the guided meditation. I will see you tomorrow morning for those of you that want to join us for the Twin Flame update. And I'll see you soon. Any questions, feel free to ask. I will add any comments under this video directly after. Take a minute, let's go and enjoy.